Well, what we've got here now, this just arrived in, it's a Deering, and it's very expensive. It's just bought this, and unfortunately at a gig last week they dropped a speaker on it, straight on the neck, which I can repair actually, but the problem really with it is it's broken the truss rod inside, bent. It's bent the truss rod, and you need to straighten that first, because you don't really want a bent truss rod in an expensive neck to start with, so you have to take the fingerboard off.
Banjo?
Yeah, this banjo, sorry. And they've got to take the fingerboard off. To take the fingerboard off, we've got to use a little bit of warmth, obviously, to break down the glues, but unfortunately he's glued the frets in, so they'll all fall out. It's quite a mess, so what we've decided to do is, he wanted the fret scale length changing anyway, so what we've decided to do is I'm going to make him a completely new neck. Just use this as a guide with a slightly different scale length. So I've started, and I've got some really nice, much finer wood than this is made of anyway. It's a tiger stripe maple, as you can see. Call it fiddleback maple. And it's just one plank, and I've cut it round that way and twisted it round and that, so one piece will stop the other side from twisting, so it's always in, one side will always keep the other side in tension, keep it straight. And I've put down the centre a very nice piece of Indian rosewood, so it's getting really beautiful this one is. We're going to go for a different scale length, and I'm using a slightly thicker piece of ebony. I've got this beautiful choice ebony I've had for years. I've got a big block of it, and I've just cut a nice thick piece. I shall plane it down to about 8mm at the end. It'll just give it a little bit more rigidity, and inside the truss rod system I'm using is a new one from America, and it's like the old Rickenbacker ones, but it's made in stainless steel and it works both ways, so you can tighten and bend the neck backwards. You can also slacken and it'll bend the neck forward, so it'll, whatever kind of warping that you get in a neck, this one will take it out, and you don't need to cut too much wood out really, very thin. So that's a nice new addition. So the actual structure will actually be far better than the original, I should think, even though it is very nice, beautifully done. But I think we're going to improve on it. I know we're going to improve on it, and I shall probably take my time on this one. It's beautiful. I might take some of these inlays out and put them in the fingerboard, or make some new ones. I've decided that as we're going along. But this is the state of play so far. It's only arrived in a couple of days ago, and I thought I'd get straight on with it because they really need the banjo. So there we are. As you can see, this is me hand planing. It isn't a cheat, I don't know how to use the machines. I prefer to just plane things like this by hand. It just gives you a feel for the wood. I don't like rubbing everything up machines, and that's the end of the job. You can feel how the wood's drying out, you can feel everything about it. Plus you get a much finer finish by hand. Keep your tools very sharp, which I always do. I've had to teach myself everything, because I wasn't taught myself how to sharpen plane blades, everything. It's nothing better than self-taught idiots. So here I am. We're coming down now to getting level, and I shall square it all up by hand as well. And a tip for anybody out there: I don't use a carpenter square. I've got them. If I'm working in fine tolerances, I use an engineer square, because these are square. I've never come across a carpenter square that's actually square. Perfectly square these are. So you use them, you've got a good start. That's today's tip. If anybody's thinking of doing this, if you are thinking of making guitars for a living, you'll always be poor. I haven't been able to afford a haircut for nearly 20 years. Because I wasn't taught myself how to sharpen plane blades, everything. It's nothing better than self-taught idiots.